I was going to ask how much begging it would take for you to potato your ogress, but can you do a backflip? Yes. Just hold back and double click on roll. I mean, it's not even that hard, really. Why the heck don't you use catalyst reactors, etc., even though you can get them in-game for free all the time? Literally makes 0 sense. Less than 3. Well, it's an extreme stance. I did actually record that in that one video, but the video itself didn't record, and I didn't want to have to like mime myself waving over cards and stuff, so I just went with the other take I took. Originally starting out, Forma was a lot harder to get. Void was just coming out, surprise, surprise. I know it was a mainstay forever, but it was new at one point. At the time, they were so rare that I bundled them together with excavators. Jeez, it's been a while. With catalysts and reactors. How did I get excavators out of reactors? They were all kind of equally make your Warframe stronger, your weapons stronger, bundled together in my head. And because of that, and they were so rare, it was sort of like now at Nidus and other such things. Oh, if you really like it, just, you know, throw some platinum at that market there, you can make your character all nice and strong. And I came into the game from the ground up. It is free to play. I will continue to play it free to play, and I was going to eventually do a review on is Warframe free to play. But to answer that mini side question, to date, yes, it is free to play. They keep getting closer to that line, but they haven't crossed it just yet. As for why I don't actually use them, yeah, I could probably do a video on that itself. Since it was tied to platinum, platinum equals not free to play. Yes, you can trade for it, but I took a more of an extreme approach to it than most, and I don't recommend anybody do what I'm doing. It's kind of crazy, but go figure. And but it was mostly just a test to see how far the free to play could go. It also keeps me attached to the newer Tenno coming in, and it keeps my perspective the same. If I would start doing really strong builds and like Dex weapons have built-in reactors and wraiths and stuff, for harder content I do swap to those, but other people can get that for free, and it's gifted out, you know, naturally in the game if you complete a quest, so I consider that acceptable. But in terms of using it for free, even ones I've earned, I don't touch it. Also, I've been doing it so long that if I do it now, it'd break my streak. I don't see any other content creator that can say, oh yeah, I haven't used a single Forma on my weapons or anything in 3 freaking years. So, yeah. So it's sort of, it's a goofy title to choose, but by golly, if no one else is gonna, I better do that. What other Warframes do you use apart from our Lord and Savior? I regularly not many. I have had to toss out quite a few because of the limited slot allocations on the free-to-play shenanigans. Recently, many thanks to the Legion, I have been gifted quite a few slots, so now that's not so much of a concern. But we've already had to pass on, well, a few. Valkyria, Oberon, Excalibur, Saren, Equinox, I might be missing one, Ember, anyone else? All those were previous clientele that had to move on. I couldn't handle the slim builds. As for which ones I currently have equipped, of course, is the Rhino. Ivara, Inaros, Trinity. Is there another one in there? No, 4 is all I could usually hold, I think. I think that's it for now. Equinox was the newest that I had to toss. Oh, what's her name? And the flying chick. The one that can actually fly. Sorry, Zephyr fans. No. Titania. There we go. Titania. Das Vidania, Titania. That's my current lineup. Though, like I said, Trinity's probably low on that totem pole until they do something to make her heal better. She's probably the next one out, should room ever get stuck. Stealth for Ivara, tanky for Inaros, energy generation with Trinity, and I guess it's just fun to play with Titania. Giggity. Do you spend time on trade chat at all? No. Not a big fan of Panzer myself. That's a WoW joke if anyone got it, but no. I do not deal with the Devil's Metal at all. I leave that to Darvo. He knows what he's doing, and the other Platinum Barons, but I don't touch this stuff, so I tend to stay out of it. I do glance at it, or at least I did, just for giggles to see what prices are on things, but never really had any intention of touching it, so nope. If they were to release a Warframe that would be based off the community opinions and the liking, then what would you like to see in that Warframe? I don't know about the community as a whole. Sometimes their opinions don't exactly match up with mine. For example, the Toncore is popular just because it's strong, but it doesn't mean I like it. In fact, if it's overpowered, I tend to dislike it because it's too easy. But, you know, you're talking to a guy who doesn't use Forma or anything like that. So, you know, again, my opinions might not always match up with the general player base, which is fine. So I don't really know what they would be looking for. I'm assuming... Actually, no, I take that back. I do know probably what it would be. I can almost guarantee it would be very strong. It would have AoE killing capabilities on its ult, or if not every ability. And it would somehow have some sort of loot power attached to it, to increase the odds of something dropping what they want. That seems to be the popular meta game at the moment. So that's actually probably what it would be. As for what I want, I don't even know what I want. I don't know. There was a fan art of like a medieval knight, sort of. I don't remember. It's been a while. It was kind of a mix of chroma and rhino in terms of that. It was like purplish and dark looking void knight or something like that. That one looked pretty cool. I think I saw another one that was vampire-based. That was kind of nice. I mean, we got sort of that with Inaros because of the whole self-sustaining and the coffin thing, so that's kind of close. But yeah, vampire, maybe vampire knight. Oh, combo them up. How long has you and the missus, not to forget the lovely captain, been together? Quite a while. It is more than a handful, we'll say. I don't want to give the exact amount because, you know, it's rude to give up the age of things and the amount of time we've been co-oping in RL would date somewhat. The date of dating would date the mate, I guess. So we're gonna avoid the exacts, but just say more than a handful, but not more than we can handle. Why your voice so sexy? I don't know. You tell me. What is your favorite part of Warframe, old or new accepted? Overall, the mobility is nice. The speed, it's something you can't really replicate in a first-person shooter, I don't think, because, you know, first person, though, I mean, Quake 3 was the gold standard, as you will. But, yeah, no, I mean, the speed is probably the good one. Got a little bit of the Dynasty Warriors feel in there, too, where you just mow down a bunch of enemies, so it's kind of a nice little combination of goodness, gaming goodness in there. I'd probably go with that. Here's a quick question for you. Well, we'll see about that. I'm finding ways to stretch them out for a really long time so far. If you could be reborn as a cat, what animal would you choose to be reborn as? Well, you just said if I could be reborn as a cat. So it kind of limits me to just picking the cat. But in terms of any animal, I don't know. Any animal. Most people would probably go bird. Flying squirrel, I suppose. I mean, not like I give it a lot of thought here, but they can still fly around. But they got a better cute factor. They can climb too. And, they're still nuts. Okay, this might be the most serious question you're going to get. What's your favorite color combination? I don't know. It's changed over the years, and I actually was asked this question a while ago. Probably a year ago. Actually, randomly in the comments. Wasn't you, was it? I answered, so I don't think so. But, I don't know, it's changed over time. It depends on the game, because usually you're customizing something with that, you know? So, my three main tend to be orange, like a nice, vibrant, but not neon. Purple, but dark, like royal purple, but not too dark. You gotta tell it's purple, not black or indigo or nothing. And a green. But again, it depends. Green and purple tend to mix well. Certain Joker fan, perhaps. So, you know, naturally. But I'm also partial to the aqua and like silver, or I guess teal, but I prefer saying aqua. Teal would work. Teal and silver, teal and that off shiny white. Kind of what I got going on with the Rhino. Kinda. It's more of a white, I know, but that's sort of the thing I was picking from the beginning on that one. Why do you always make some bomb-ass vids? It just comes naturally, man, you know? I just think, what do people want to see? And, just gotta proverbially stick your hand in a blender and pull something out. That's what everyone else does, right? When will you use reactors, catalysts, and Forma? And thoughts on the Bard frame coming up? Probably not intending anytime soon on the first question. Bard frame, I like the idea of. I would like to see how the music capabilities is going to work. But we'll see whenever it comes out. If we got to do another quest for it, though, I don't know. I don't plan on getting Nidus anytime soon, so we'll see how that works. Even if you're playing the game purely free, what about trading for plat? Nope, don't touch it. Again, everyone, do whatever. I'm taking, like I said, the extreme stance on platinum. I don't want to touch it. It is possible. I know if I did a video on how to trade, it would get a bunch of views because people ask about it a lot. But, if you don't touch it, what can you do, I can give you tips, but it'd be kind of weird if I don't actually trade for it, So, kind of recuse myself from that one. What do you think the next Prime Warframe and weapons are going to be? Weren't they leaked? I don't know. A lot of people want Banshee. I don't use them myself either, so I'm not really invested. What was your Christmas present? Mrs. actually thought I should do a video on that, like showing stuff, but I thought that was, I don't know. Was that people like that? She mentions on YouTube, but she watches stuff I don't. There's nothing wrong with it, just, styles, tastes different. And apparently that was the theme this year. So she goes, we could do that. I'm like, I guess, but just, it seems weird to me. In the past I said, why would someone put out a P.O. box to get shipped random things? Like, oh, here's candy. And then like, oh, we're tasting like Italy. And now we're tasting, I don't know, Greece or something. That kind of fits, doesn't it? It was Greece and Greece. But now, I don't see the point in that. Like, oh, here's a bottle of champagne that I could easily inject with a needle or something, or put like arsenic on like snacks or something. No, I don't trust that. No offense to nobody, but it only takes one bite, and then Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, how'd they fare? All right, I think that's what we all learned from the old school stuff. Don't eat random food from strangers, okay?